Hey everybody, it's Dave Grantham from Evolutionaryqigong, and in today's video what I'm going to review is waist jing training for martial power. So that basically comes from the White Crane book that Master Yang has written a few years back. And if you haven't picked up a copy of this, it's a great book to pick up for training both internal, external sides of the White Crane system. So what I'm doing is training the waist, all right? The first part of this is just basically like our warm-up series that we use when we're doing our Tai Chi classes, Kung Fu classes, what have you. So it's just swinging the body back and forth and letting the arms just swing outwards. Now this is just basic warm-up. What I want to do is I want to add a little bit of that whipping action from the waist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip and then bring the waist back to kind of a neutral position. And I try to keep it loose as well too. So it's whip and back, just for a warm-up. Now I should say that when you're training the jing power, that you should start with just a few minutes of it and then build your endurance as you go along through the days. You don't want to go too long period of time of just training this whipping action. It could really injure the body if you haven't prepared the body properly. Alright, so that's basic warm-up, and you would do that for 4 or 5 minutes, getting the body just adjusted for this whipping action. The next exercise, and all these exercises, I'll be doing singular and then double training. So if you train White Crane, you can go into your White Crane horse stance. If you don't, you can just do a regular horse stance or Mabu stance where your legs are out, knees are out over the toes area, whichever you feel more comfortable with, all right? So I'll be doing my White Crane stance for this and basic, movements. So the first movement is where I'm just going to let the arms just dangle down by the sides of my body. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to twist in one direction and then return that waist back to that neutral position, all right? And the arms just dangle, just singular on both sides, obviously. So the first one goes to that side and that side, that side, and that side. So you see the arms just flail back and forth. The main idea is to keep the shoulders and hips twisting quickly one direction and then back to a neutral position. A couple of things that can help you out here. The tilting of the hips area here. Try not to have what we call an anterior tilt or a forward tilt where it's as if you had a tray table on your hips with a glass of water. The water would fall off to the front side. Same thing going back. You don't want to be tucking in your hips like this. A posterior tilt we call it, where the glass of water would fall to the back side. So you want to maintain a nice neutral position, and that's going to help with you feeling like you're basically sitting on a stick going all the way up to the top of your head and pivoting back and forth while sitting on that stick. Okay, so that's singular. The next, of course, is double. So it's the same thing. I'm going to twist in one direction, and then I'm going to twist the opposite direction, and then I'm going to return back to that neutral position. So I'm going to do it for both sides as well. So double. And you'll see each time I attempt to also sink the body down into the ground at the same time I twist. So that's your first exercise, single and double, just twisting the waist, letting the arms dangle. The next stage builds upon the last. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to act like I'm striking something back. And this kind of gets my hands ready for chambering to strike forward. In this exercise, again, single, double, what you'll notice is when I pull that back to strike, the other one kind of moves forward, all right? So it looks like this in singular. Okay, so again, it's a twist and a twist back. That's single. Now let's look at double. Same thing, striking back with the elbows. Okay, so there you have the second set of exercises where I use the elbow to strike back. In the third set of exercises, I'm striking now forward. So I chamber that hand, I twist the body, the hand goes out forward, and as it goes out forward, before it reaches its furthest destination, I twist the waist back, elongating or extending the hand. And that would be the point in that soft hard transition where I would squeeze the muscle tissue to prevent injury to the joint. Okay, that's where we get that soft hard. So in a singular, okay, and then the offside, obviously. Okay, and you would go back and forth, obviously alternating each size. I should also mention that when you first train this, it's best to be striking in a downward fashion. That also helps you stay rooted, keeps the shoulder down, keeps the muscle tissue at its most relaxed position. As you become more comfortable with it, then you'll raise your hands up to higher levels, whether you want to change directions and so forth and so on. But for now, just keep it downward striking, all right? So that was singular. Now let's look at double. Okay, then you have double, all right? So different exercises to train the waist area. As we move forward, I'll also put out some videos for training the chest area, because that's one of our 6 bows in the White Crane system, and you will train that, and then you'll place the 2 of them together to get the full effect of martial power in White Crane training. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please select like down below, and I appreciate any comments that you might have. Thank you.